Bhagavan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram. Once again, it's a great fortune that we are able to sing at all the powerful Nama of Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. We shall share a particular incident of a devotee, an American devotee, which depicts once again how Bhagwan comes to our rescue. We have been seeing Leelas after Leelas of Bhagwan's protection, help and guidance. And it's because, like I said before, to remember something that happened to a devotee of Bhagwan is also to relive that experience ourselves, which invokes a very big, huge grace from Bhagwan, as per his promise. There is Mariana Kaplan from the States, a student of Mr. Lee. She was sick for 3 years. After that, she recovered slowly, and she needed to go to some beautiful place for recuperation, to bounce back to health, and she found yoga very beneficial in that way. So there's a set of islands called Hawai, and she went to Hawai, one of the smallest islands there, very beautiful. It has a natural healing power. These islands are towards the southwest coast of America. She had a wonderful time there with the yoga training she went through. In the place where she lived, there's a hall. Wherever Mariana Kaplan went, she would chant Bhagavan's Nama. She would carry the name of Bhagwan on her tongue, and a picture of Bhagwan also, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. So she kept chanting and chanting and went through this yoga training. After 1 month, she found there was a decline. The number of students declined, and for the next month, there were no students at all for the yoga training. So it looked as though she had to go back to Arizona, and she almost bought the ticket. She was about to buy the ticket back home, to go back home. At that time, her yoga teacher also said there were no students for the next month, and the students who participated in the yoga training, they were all leaving. They don't want to come for 1 year. They said they would wait for 1 year and come back for the yoga training again next year. So they decided, and they were about to leave. And Mariana Kaplan, though very much she wanted to stay on, she seemed to have no choice at all. So when she approached her yoga teacher, the yoga teacher said, "Yes, looks like we have to cancel everything. No students. The students are all bent upon leaving the place." Especially one of the students, she wanted to stay on with Mariana Kaplan, but then she had work interests. And her staying on clashed with her work. Then suddenly struck Mariana. She did not know what made her say that. When she approached, she was going to buy a ticket to go back home, but before she did that, suddenly she found herself saying to the yoga teacher, "Are you ready for some miracle?" The yoga teacher raised her eyebrows. "What's up with you?" "No, wait. Let me see." And then she started to chant, "Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya," saying, "Swami, I want to go on with my yoga training for the next month also, but there are no students. The students who have attended this month yoga training, they all want to go back home and return after 1 year. So, what shall I do? Yogi Ramsuratkumar, please do something." Believe it or not, within minutes, there was a crowd of students outside the room of yoga teacher. And they all came and said they wanted to stay on for the next month yoga training also, that they were not going back. And what was more, how the whole thing was triggered, the student who wanted to go back home because the yoga training for the next month clashed with her work. Suddenly, she lost her job. So there was no work waiting at home. So she decided to stay on for the next month yoga training. And seeing her, somehow it must be Yogi Ramsuratkumar who changed their mindset. The others also decided to stay on. So within minutes of chanting the name Yogi Ramsuratkumar, there were many students willing to do the yoga training for the next month also. The yoga teacher who did not believe in miracles, she had kept only a Shiva Nataraja in the hall for the yoga class, and then of course a picture of their yoga teacher from Mysore. But now the yoga teacher called her, "Mariana, what's up with you? What have you done? What miracle is this? All those people who are bent upon leaving are coming back and saying that they wanted to stay on. How did it happen?" Mariana Kaplan said, "Yogi Ramsuratkumar happened." And after that, she could put a picture of Yogi Ramsuratkumar there in the hall, along with Shiva Nataraja, and she would put flowers there, and every day Yogi Ramsuratkumar sat there watching, helping, and blessing all those yoga students. It's a very small miracle in a way, because probably it was easy to make those students remain there. But what happened afterwards, Mariana Kiplon found herself chanting his name for every little thing. In everyday life, we need something or the other to go on. And she found herself chanting his name, calling out to Yogi Ramsuratkumar for every little help. And then a friend of hers told her, you should not do it. You don't call out to Yogi Ramsuratkumar for small, small things. She knew it, but she could not help it, and she was going on with it. Here, of course, afterwards, she began to change. The one idea here that we have to know is that when you chant the Nama and you ask for ordinary things of the day, the Nama gets spent. The energy of the Nama gets spent. Like you take money from the bank and buy something or the other, and the money gets spent. But if you want God, you have to chant the name only for the sake of God. For people who keep on chanting the name all through the day, every little need of theirs, every want of theirs will be fulfilled with the help of the Nama. The Nama will take over and fulfill all the wishes. But then the energy of the Nama gets spent. The serious sadhaks who want only God and who have taken up Nama chanting as the main sadhana have to be very careful. They must give up the wants instead of calling out the name for every little thing of their daily life. There's a story. One Sridhara Swami of Varadapura, he was serving the samadhi of his guru. He would start very early morning, his seva. He would clean the place nicely. He would wash the clothes which were used in the samadhi. And then he would start plucking flowers and make malas. All through the day, he would bring water for Abhisheka. All through the day, just chanting the name and doing seva to the Guru. One day, a devotee had come there and he was very angry. His Guru, this Varadapura Sridhara Swami's Guru, was Samartha Ramdas. It is the samadhi of Samartha Ramdas that Sridhara Swami was serving. One day when he was in the service, a devotee had come, and the devotee started shouting. He was very angry with Samartha Ramdas. He said, Guruji, you said 13 crores of Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram would beget the darshan of Rama. And I have done it. I finished 13 crores of Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram quite some time back. But I did not get darshan of Shri Rama. You promised it, but it did not happen. Why? He very angrily asked the Guru in the samadhi. Sridhara Swami was watching the whole thing, and then he flared up. He came and said, do you want to know what happened to your Nama? 13 crores? You remember some time back you came and said your wife was not well, she was sick, and then you prayed and your wife got well. But then some of your Namas were spent for that. And then after some time you came and said your daughter had to be married and you made a prayer, that was granted. Some more of your namas got spent. And then you wanted employment for your son, and again some more namas got spent. So how can you say you have completed 13 crore? Every wish that we have will consume the nama energy. It's only when Sridhar Swami explained, the devotee understood. So what do we learn from this? If you are a serious sadhak, and if God is your goal of life, then you have to chant the name only for that. But if you have many things to wish for, know that every wish will be granted, but that is from your account of the namas. So we learn from this that if you want God above all else, you have to be very careful. So the only way to do that is to give up all your other wishes. The only desire must be desire for God, and give up other desires. Otherwise, every desire that you have for this thing and that thing will take up your nama, and very little will be left for God. This is what the Mahatmas say, the great souls say. But if you keep on chanting the name all through the day, without asking for this thing and that thing, know that very soon nama will take over your life. And you don't have to pray at all. Nama will fulfill every prayer. So much so that Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar said, chanting the name is prayer, chanting the name is surrender, chanting the name is samadhi. Meaning, when you keep on chanting the name, you don't have to pray separately. Nama will do the needful. And if you go on chanting without asking for anything, nama chanting will lead to surrender. And after that, samadhi. So this is what we have to learn about nama chanting. But even then, even if you have wishes in everyday life, it doesn't matter. We must still keep on chanting the name, because it's the only connection with God. Every time you chant the name, the Nami is present. Yogi Ramsuratkumar said, God is the goal of everybody's life. Remembering God is the goal of everybody's life, because you have to remember God, keep on remembering Him, because attaining God is not in our hands. We can only remember Him. Yogi Ramsuratkumar said, remembering the name is remembering God. He also used to say, it's only when you remember God, you truly live. When you forget God, you are dead. So we have to remember again and again. Remembering God is the only purpose of life. Remembering the name is remembering God. And remembering the name is living in God. Why? Because by remembering the name, we are serving the purpose of life. So with that, we shall be grateful for this opportunity given to us by Bhagwan, for chanting, singing the name once again this evening for 1 hour. And we shall now offer our prayers at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. Here is Bhagwan in the form of his murti, with his raised hand and benediction, saying that there is flow, a constant flow of grace from me You remember my name. You call out my name. You don't have to fear or worry. No agitation, no worry. Every fear, terror will be replaced by hope and faith. Just keep remembering the name. Keep remembering the name. We shall offer our prayers. Bhagwan,